Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Yutsa Bhattrai. The top stories first. House panel finds irregularities in purchase of medical supplies. Prepares to request anti-graft body to initiate investigation. Finance Minister pledges free COVID-19 vaccines to all. Government making attempts to contact with manufacturers for the vaccine. Coronavirus cases declining in Nepal. 782 new cases reported across the country. Pakistan accuses India of firing on UN observers in Kashmir. Alleges India of plotting a surgical strike. And India cement their position in day 2 of the first test against Australia. Lead the match by 62 runs. And now, the news in detail. The Public Accounts Committee of the Parliament has decided to send a letter to the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse and Authority for investigation after concluding irregularities in the purchase of medical supplies. A meeting of the Public Accounts Committee held yesterday confirmed foul play in the procurement of medical supplies required to control and contain the COVID-19 disease in March this year. The Public Accounts Committee, in the letter addressed to CIAA, has demanded thorough investigation and stern actions against the guilty. Announcing the discussions of the committee and listing out the names involved in medical purchase scam, Committee Secretariat Dr. Rojnath Pandey informed a letter will be sent to CIAA to launch formal investigation demanding stern action.
पूर्ण रूपमा यो खरिद प्रक्रिया चाहिँ नियमसङ्गत नभएको कारणले र यसमा चाहिँ विभिन्न पदाधिकारीहरू जो संलग्न हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरू चाहिँ दोषी हुनुहुन्छ, दोषी करार गर्ने अवस्था सिर्जना भएको हुनाले यसको थप छानबिन गरेर को दोषी हुनुहुन्छ, कसले चाहिँ यसमा अनियमितता गर्नुभएको छ त्यो कुराहरू पहिचान गरेर कानुनी कारबाही गर्नको लागि अख्तियार दुरुपयोग अनुसन्धान आयोगलाई चाहिँ लेखी पठाउने गरी निर्णय भएको छ।
Minister for Health and Population Bhanubhakta Thakal, present at the meeting, pleaded not guilty in the medical supplies procurement scam. Minister Thakal affirmed he has no involvement in the financial and other procedures of the procurement. Minister Thakal, however, said since he was leading the ministry, he did put forward the procurement proposal in the cabinet.
आर्थिक र अन्य विषयसँग सरोकार राख्ने, त्यसलाई प्रभावित गर्ने खालको विषयमा मेरो संलग्नता नरहेको र महामारीका विरुद्ध सहजीकरण गर्ने खालको सन्दर्भमा नीतिगत रूपमा मन्त्री परिषदमा फाइल अथवा प्रस्ताव पठाउने खालको विषयमा चाहिँ मन्त्रीको हिसाबले मैले सहमति जनाएको छु।
According to Minister Thakal, the procurement was done as per the decisions and agreement of Cabinet and the then high-level coordination committee. Finance Minister Bishnu Paudel has informed that the government is working on providing the coronavirus vaccine for free to all the people of Nepal. In a meeting with the representatives of the Economic Journalist Association, Finance Minister Paudel said that just like the treatment for the coronavirus, the government is working to make the vaccine free of cost to all Nepali people as well. Minister Paudel further informed that the government is in constant communication with the manufacturing company as well as with the vaccine developing nation to make sure the vaccines become available to Nepal as soon as it hits the international market. The minister also informed that a protocol has also been put into place to choose the best quality vaccine from the market. Although there is preparation to vaccine the entire population of Nepal, Minister Paudel has said that children under the age of 14 won't be vaccinated.
लागतका दृष्टिकोणले तुलनात्मकमा सस्तो र गुणस्तरीय भ्याक्सिन समयमा आपूर्ति गर्ने र नेपालीहरूलाई उमेर समूहको हिसाबले अलि भनौँ न पुरानो वृद्ध उमेर बढ्ता भएकाहरूलाई प्राथमिकता दिने जस्ता विषयहरू छन्। यसरी क्रमशः सबैलाई लगाउने कुरा चाहिँ 14 वर्षभन्दा मुनिकाहरूलाई सायद हामी लगाउँदैनौँ।
Minister Paudel also clarified that the government is not struggling to arrange finances for the purchase of the vaccine, unlike what some media have been reporting. He confirmed that there is no shortage of finances for the government to take important actions like purchasing vaccines. The government yesterday confirmed 782 new cases of coronavirus across the country. Following the latest round of tests, the total cases of coronavirus in the country have climbed to 252,474, while the number of active cases has dropped to 9,317 from the overnight tally of 9,580. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, altogether 241,392 infected persons have recovered from the disease in the country so far. The death toll from coronavirus has climbed to 1,765 across the country, with the confirmation of 60 new fatalities yesterday. Nepal is currently among the top 40 countries that have been most affected by the pandemic. The US tops the list with 17.87 million confirmed cases, followed by India with 10 million cases. Coronavirus has infected more than 75 million people across the world and claimed 1.6 million lives. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The government has lifted the odd-even rule for operating vehicles in Kathmandu Valley effective from yesterday. The rule, which was imposed to curb the spread of coronavirus, has been removed after a decline in the cases of coronavirus. A meeting of security agencies, including the traffic police force, district administrations and transport entrepreneurs on Thursday, decided to end the odd-even system effective from December 18. Chief District Officer of Kathmandu, Kali Prasad Parajuli, informed that all vehicles will be allowed to operate from Friday, but it is mandatory for them to adopt safety measures as per the standard health protocol set by the government. The government had imposed the odd-even rule in Kathmandu Valley on September 22 to minimize overcrowding of streets so that the spreading of virus could be checked to some extent. Transport entrepreneurs had requested the government to remove the odd-even rule after the government and private offices started operating full-time in recent days. They argued that the odd-even rule contributed to overcrowding of vehicles as offices started opening. The government was also facing criticism for opening other sectors but restricting a vehicular movement. Meanwhile, the government is preparing to test antigens of 300,000 persons for traces of coronavirus this month between mid-December to mid-January. The Ministry of Health and Population informed that the antigen test would give them a clear picture regarding the community-level transmission of coronavirus. The test will be conducted from tomorrow, December 20, in areas across the country where more than 200 active cases have been reported. According to the focal person of Health Ministry, Mahendra Prasad Shrestha said they have deployed skilled workers across the country for the test. According to him, the ministry will focus on hotspots, big cities and densely populated areas for the test. The ministry informed that the results from the antigen test will be available instantly after placing the swab sample in a kit. In other news, Minister for Industry, Commerce and Supplies Lekraj Bhatta has committed to the agitating sugarcane farmers of providing their unpaid dues within 12 days. Minister Bhatta on Friday met with the agitation agitating farmers at the mighty Mandala, where he committed that the government has now taken up the responsibility of providing them with their unpaid remuneration, which will be within 10 to 12 days. Minister Bhatta also informed that the process of releasing the Farmers' Fund has already begun, with the dues being sourced from their respective industries who have not cleared the dues. Senior leader of Nepali Congress, who has been actively supporting the sugarcane farmers' protest, has said that the state shouldn't be shying away from providing the remuneration to the farmers. The leader further added that even with the government's intervention, the sugarcane industry owners have managed to flee without any repercussions, and therefore it is the responsibility of the government to provide the farmers with their remuneration. The sugarcane farmers from various districts in the Terai region have been protesting in Kathmandu from Sunday. They have been protesting about the unpaid due amount of almost 900 million rupees. And now the news from economic front. The United States has expressed willingness to provide further technical assistance to Nepal to increase investment preferential trade between the two countries. The United States made such remark during a recent meeting of the United States-Nepal Council on Trade and Investment held virtually to discuss the Trade and Investment Framework Agreement. A joint statement issued by the U.S. Embassy and the Government of Nepal says that the two sides held discussions to promote expanded bilateral trade and investment in both goods and services. The meeting was co-chaired by Christopher Wilson, Assistant United States Trade Representative for South and Central Asia, and Boykunta Aryal, Secretary at the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies of Nepal. During the meeting, representatives from both countries discussed a range of bilateral trade and investment-related issues covered under the TIFA-TIFA. Other issues discussed during the meeting include customs and trade facilitation, intellectual property, digital trade and e-commerce, labor, financial services, investment promotion, trade and agricultural products, and utilization of Nepal Trade Preference Program, the statement added. We'll be taking a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now the international news. Pakistan's military has accused the Indian Army of opening fire on United Nations peacekeepers along the contested Kashmir frontier. According to the Telegraph, the information wing of the Pakistani military released photos it said showed bullet holes in a white vehicle bearing UN markings. There was no immediate statement or confirmation from the United Nations peacekeeping mission, and India denied the incident. The Telegraph further reported. The accusations came as Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi claimed India was planning a surgical strike against the Islamic nation, the latest in a war of words between the two nuclear-armed rivals. The minister did not offer evidence to support his claim, but cited credible intelligence about the alleged plot. He added that Pakistan was fully prepared to respond to any such kind of attack from India, which he said could endanger peace in the region. UN observers have spent decades monitoring the heavily militarized line of control between the rivals, where there is a regular firing and shelling despite a ceasefire. Both sides claim the disputed Himalayan territory in full but rule in part. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. India took the upper hand as 15 wickets fell on day 2 of a fast-moving first test against Australia in Adelaide. The superb tourist bowled Australia out for 191 but lost opener Prithvi Shaw in reaching 9 for 1, a lead of 62 at the end of the day too. Australian captain Tim Paine made an unbeaten 73, the only batsman to cross the 50-run mark, with Marnus Labuschagne scoring 47 runs. For India, spin bowler Ravichandran Ashwin took 4 for 55 in 18 overs, with Umesh Yadav taking 3 for 40 in his 16. Earlier, India slipped from 233 for 6 overnight to 244 all-out inside the first 19 balls of the day, as Michelle Stark finished with 453. Pat Cummins slammed 3 for 48 and also bowled a Shaw through the gate in the 6 overs possible before the close in India's second innings. It could have been even better for India, but they dropped Paine on 26 and twice reprieved Marnus Labuschagne, both of whom went to score more runs. With a lead of 62 and 3 more days left to play, India remain favourites to win this day-night encounter and take a 1-0 lead in the 4-match Test series. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. House panel finds irregularities in purchase of medical supplies. Prepares to request anti-graft body to initiate investigation. Finance Minister pledges free COVID-19 vaccine to all. Government making attempts to contact with manufacturers for the vaccine. Coronavirus cases declining in Nepal. 782 new cases reported across the country. Pakistan accused India of firing on UN observers in Kashmir, alleges India of plotting a surgical strike. And India cement their position in day 2 of the first test against Australia, lead the match by 62 runs. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.